Hey, this is Manley with verticallessons.com. Have you ever had one of those weeks where you thought you were going to have a good week, but somewhere along the way, maybe it's in the middle of the week or the end of the week, you get stuck and you look back and you're very frustrated? Or maybe it was a project and you got hit with something blindsided, unexpected. Maybe you are aware of a potential problem, but it just turned out to be way worse than you expected and you got completely thrown off track. In this short video, I'm going to give you a framework and a perspective to look preemptively at the challenges you're facing, whether it's a project or your week, so that you can follow a little four-step process and framework to actually overcome and expect the challenge ahead and be successful despite it. So the word of the day is crux, C-R-U-X. It's a fairly uncommon word in the English language, but this is a word we use in the climbing world consistently, nearly every single time. Whether it's a little climb in your backyard area, or if it's something completely massive halfway around the world, a major expedition or some much bigger effort, we always ask, what is the crux of this effort? What is going to be the most expected difficulty that we're facing? What are we up against? Now, this could be a specific section of climbing, or it could be the weather could be the crux, the logistics could be the crux in a climbing scenario. And in your day-to-day life, it could be a variety of things. For your week planning, the crux could be maybe that you have some travel, or maybe that you have a lot of meetings, or that it's going to be challenging to deal with the kids and get them to where they need to be. And even there's all these different things coming at us. It's absolutely overwhelming. But if you'll step back and ask that question, what is the most difficult expected challenge I'm going to face this week? That can give you incredible clarity. And I want to walk you through the four-step process right now, how you can get the clarity. And that's number one, the first step. It's an acronym, C-R-U-X. So the C stands for to call the crux, just to identify it. What do we expect to be the most challenging aspect of this week? Or what do we expect to be the most challenging part of this project we're focused on? Then we're going to identify that and also then focus an extra amount of effort on helping come up with a couple of specific tactics around that expected crux, so that we can be successful. So the next step is the R. The R stands for to come up with a recovery or retreat plan. If things don't go well with this crux, how will we recover from it? One extra tip here I'll give you as well is to make sure that you write this down on a piece of paper or type it up. It's amazing when you get things out of your head and on paper or into a document how freeing it is, because the emotions in our head and the concern can really wash away when we see the facts. The fact is, if this happens and we're not able to overcome this challenge, this crux of this project or effort this week, here's exactly what we're going to do to recover from it. That's really helpful and can give you an incredible amount of confidence going into the project or the phase or the week or whatever you're focused on. The U stands for utilizing your resources. So on the project level, what's the dream team? Who do you need on board? Especially for this it may be beyond the scope of the normal project team. You might be bringing in some extra help to deal with this incredibly, potentially challenging problem that you expect to be the most difficult thing you'll face. Also, what else can you do to stack things in your favor? Timing is a big one that is often overlooked. I've seen shifts in just a couple days or weeks or hours in a go live or an effort in a project to really make a significant difference in dealing with the crux and mitigating that risk, and then also in helping you be just generally successful by getting more buy-in. Especially when you, I'm not saying you should put off every project, but sometimes coming to an alignment on shifting the go live or an effort of something can make a big difference when you have all the players involved from a business side or anywhere in the organization. So people all have a voice in that, and they don't feel like you're trying to shove something down their throat. For your week, that can be incredibly challenging too, just understanding who are the people, the resources, or the little things you can do. Maybe you can get up a little early or get a nap in, or maybe your diet needs to be really on point this week, or whatever other stress relieving activities you have really will make a big difference. And getting this, again, writing this down can make a big difference on how well you get the clarity and to utilize it during the week. So the last letter is the X in crux, and that stands for execute. The key to execution is to get started before you're ready, number one, and in just a small way, small effort. Don't let it be overwhelming, because if we think about all those steps, it's just too much. So what's a few small actions you can take immediately, as soon as possible, to get moving in that direction? That will make a huge difference. Let me give you a couple examples of how to apply this in team setting. 3 powerful ways you could ask this question. One is, once you define and let them know, here's what a crux is, why it's important, just ask them, right? What's the crux? Let's call the crux out for this day or this week, for this month. What are we facing? What are we up against? Second, what are you least comfortable with? That's another way to ask it. That works really well in one-on-ones. For your personal growth and your development, you could encourage someone, and you don't have to be their official leader to do this, but maybe it's a friend. You challenge them to step up and say, what are you most uncomfortable with, or an opportunity that you're facing that you may be uncomfortable with. The third one is a variation of that and directly related is, what is our biggest fear, or what is your biggest fear as we roll into this effort, this project, this day, this next year of growth, whatever that is. What's our biggest fear? Shining a light on the crux, the fears, the discomfort, and then coming up with the backup, the retreat plan in case it doesn't work or it really impacts us in some way that's adverse. Then utilizing our resources and executing before you're ready will help you build momentum. It's going to help you be less frustrated and really be more successful in your day-to-day efforts and any big project efforts. So I would love to hear how you've maybe used this approach in the past, or if you're consistent about using it. That's incredibly challenging as well. I think just being consistent. Maybe you've done this. Let me hear from you. Leave your comments below. Even better, share this with someone on social media, and I would be greatly appreciative of any sharing you do. And love to help you as well. If you have any questions, reach out to me, and appreciate you. Thanks.